Do you guys ever think to yourself, why do the Tories not just put themselves out of their misery? They've been dying this slow death for like the last 2 years, I guess, and just delaying the inevitable. Every month, every year, just delaying the inevitable death that's going to come. For what? I mean, every month and every year that goes past, they just get more and more unpopular. Wouldn't it have just been better for them if just after the Boris Johnson stuff 2 years ago, they called an election? They know they're going to lose, but by this point, they'd already be 2 years into a Labour government, and they'd only have 3 years left to regroup, bring a new mandate, a clear message. And to be honest, it would probably be better for them because we'd still be in a lot of economic, financial trouble under the Labour wouldn't be able to turn it around that quick. So they'd still have a reasonably good chance of getting back in. I just don't understand why they're just continually just going for this slow death as they ever more make the country worse. Like I say, they're not getting any popular. Everything in this country is getting worse the longer they drag it out. Education, homelessness, food banks, poverty, council funding, immigration, government debt, everything, as they eke it out further and further, just gets worse and worse and worse and worse, and they get more unpopular and more unpopular. I don't get it. Just die. Just fucking die. It makes no sense to me, but they carry on. They carry on with this hope that, I guess, I don't know, is the hope that maybe some Keir Starmer scandal will come up. I mean, at this point, that is literally, I think, the only way they would win an election now, if suddenly Keir Starmer came out in some massive scandal or something. Because, I don't know, they constantly seem to try their best to sniff out some sort of voter base that might still vote for them. There's got to be someone out there with a sniff out. There's got to be someone out there that's still willing to vote for us. And I guess that's what we saw with the budget this week, with lowering tax, 2p off national insurance. That's their thing that they're following now, I think, isn't it? That lowering tax, we've currently got the largest tax burden in 70 years. I keep hearing this stat. We need to lower tax, and that's the voter base that we're going to try and sniff out. But come on, really? I mean, is that big enough to win an election? And who are these people that are still going to vote for them if they're going to take 2p off tax, but completely ignore the fact that everything in this country is worse? NHS is worse, education is worse, homelessness is worse, every single aspect. Take any aspect of this country, government debt, borrowing, immigration, every single aspect of this country is worse. Are they still going to vote for him if they promise to take 2p off tax? Is that really going to work? I don't think so. But, and then Jeremy Hunt came out with this other thing about eventually eradicating national insurance in general. I mean, that's just more bonkers list trust economics, isn't it? It's complete mad. I mean, that's about £46 billion that you're going to take away. And this is my thing with tax cuts. Okay, take 2p off national insurance. It's less for working people to pay, right? You know, in principle, it sounds right. But then that is tax money that is being spent somewhere, right? That 2 pence. That is going on education, NHS, well, national insurance in general is supposed to be going NHS, but we know it all goes into one big pot. You know, that is money that is currently being spent. So you have to replace that money if you're going to do a 2p tax cut. So where are you going to replace it with? And this is my problem with government economics in general. Economics is not my forte. I mean, it's not. I go as far as to say it confuses the fuck out of me a lot of the time. And the reason it confuses me so much, government economics, is because I don't understand why there's not just a model, an economic model, that is best to run a country. Everyone seems to have such vastly opposing views. Like in business, it's pretty simple, really. You buy for £1, you sell for 2. It's a successful business. Why is there not a simple model for a country? I mean, I guess this is half my problem. I like to break things down and try and understand things as simply as possible. And I guess every country's different. Every country needs different needs and stuff like that. But you have such vastly opposing views. And the thing with tax cuts, like I say, that's my point. I mean, that money is being spent. It has to be replaced somewhere. But then I guess people would say if you've got more money because you're not spending tax, then you'll pay into the economy. But then why not just give everyone a pay rise so there's more money in people's pockets? And this is my problem. People have such vastly different opinions on economics for a country. Some people say it doesn't matter, you can borrow as much as you want as long as you invest it wisely. and recoup that investment, it doesn't matter about borrowing. And then other people will say, yeah, but the interest that you're paying now on borrowing is so sky high, and such massive, drastic opposing views on economics, which is why someone like me, who drives a van for a living, gets very confused by government economics. And it's not something that eventually I need to try and understand it better. But yeah, tax cuts, I can't see it. I can't see it. And going back to the Tories, that's not going to win them election. Just die. Just fucking die. Die a death. We're sick of you. All right, that's me done for the day. That's right. Okay. Channel members, you can become a channel member for 99p, and I am going to. I'm sorry, you guys that are channel members. I haven't uploaded any new content for a while, but I'm going to do it starting today. So I'm going to carry on this video for channel members. If you want to become a channel member, you can go onto my YouTube page, click the join button. It's 99p. And you can get some extra content where I'm going to go a bit more personal into my personal life. I'm coming up to 40 now. I'm going to dive into how I feel about that, what's going on with business, and basically coming out of January and February. It's such depressing months, and we've got some sunshine now, and I feel 100% better. I'm going to dive into a little bit more personal stuff on the member page. Is that something that's interesting to you? You can do that for 99p. If it doesn't, fine, that's good. Last time I announced I put some members content up, I got a load of abuse in the comments. Some people saying, no, you must only put free content out. Just think of the people that can't afford 99p in a cost of living crisis. You must put out free content. Right? Hey, 99% of my stuff is free. I'm living in a cost of living crisis as well, eh? You don't think my electric bill's coming up? How about for that extra 1% of content that I put out, if you can afford it? If you can afford it, chuck us 99p. Anyway, rant over. I'm going to carry on with the video for members. If you enjoyed this video, please click a like. You can subscribe up top. There'll be another video. You can check that out as well. Till next time, take care.